Hodges, let's do Miss Adams' case real quick.
Okay.
Miss Adams wants an explanation of what it is y'all asking for. She does not think she owes $28,455. Is that correct, Miss Adams?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Well, unfortunately, that's not what none of that's in her answer.
I understand that, Mr. Williams. She tried to file her answer, and Miss Adams, let me place you under oath. Where are you at, Miss? Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
When you filed this case, I opened the wrong case by accident. When you filed your answer, tell me what happened.
They asked you like the reasoning why you not able to pay rent and all that, and then at the end it's 25. I think I paid $25 to answer, and there was like a little receipt at the top.
So you did it online?
Yes, ma'am.
What day did you do it?
Actually, I did it. I think I did it on the 10th, but it was before 11 o'clock.
So April the 10th, you did it. Did you do it at 11 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock in the morning?
Before 11 o'clock at night.
And how did you know that your answer had not been received by the clerk's office?
Because I kept calling trying to figure out when was my court date. Because I really don't check my email, so I was trying to make sure I didn't miss it. So I was calling periodically trying to see when the court date was.
Do you know where you went on the internet to file your answer?
No, ma'am. I can't recall.
Because you said there was something that said a receipt. Do you have a copy of that?
No, ma'am. I don't have a copy of the receipt for that. That's why I ended up calling. Then I went to the inside the courthouse and filled the form out, the paperwork, so I can get a court date.
Mr. Williams, the paperwork that was filed on Miss Adams says file your answer at www.answerdispo.com. I don't think that's the right place for her to go. And
just what I don't know. This whole case confusing. Everything.
Judge, if you look at the affidavit of service, it's the court's form order. So I don't know what you're looking at. I'm looking at where the private process server served them, and the summons says April 14th, 2023.
I'm talking about right here. And the question is that improper information?
Let me look at. So I think it gives you two options. Under the summons portion, it gives you option to file it in person. And then it gives you the option to file electronically. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that, with the summons.
You think that's a proper place to answer at www.answerdispo.com?
Well, I don't know. That part.
And they charge $25.
Let me see.
Between 23 and 25.
It's a 5-point. It says Georgia Court e-file system. It has the right case information. It asks her questions just like she's saying.
Yeah, that's 5 points. That's been approved by the court.
And you're saying you did that, Miss Adams, and it just didn't take?
I did, and it showed me that it was successfully sent on my end, and it showed that I had paid. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I know I paid between $23 or $25 to submit the answer within those price ranges.
Mr. Williams, I'm gonna accept that as a late answer. And
I mean, Judge, I would agree with you if she had some documentation, but just anybody can come in here and say, "Oh, I filed it. I got something that said this."
and I get to decide credibility today, not you. So the law lets me decide credibility. And Miss Adams has given me sufficient enough facts where I think she went through the process and something happened wrong. So I'm going to accept that answer as late, especially when the amount owed is $28,000 and all she's asking for is an explanation of the $28,000. That's really what we hear about, is for y'all to show the $28,455 and the $1,355 a month.
That's not why we're
Miss
here.
Adams, what was the last time you paid rent?
Jason, hang on.
Okay.
The reason why we're here is because the answer was late and she filed that letter. That's why we're here. We'd already got a writ. We applied for the writ.
There's no writ application in this case.
The writ is, I saw it in there.
Well, y'all must have it in a different case number, but it's not.
Pull it back up.
Oh, okay, I see it. So there's a writ application, and we're here because supervising judge said put it on the calendar to see about this late answer. And I just had that. I just heard from him. I've done it, and I've said I'm going to accept the answer is late. That's why we're here. So then the next issue is, are you entitled to a judgment for $28,455? Or is it a plus any rent since the day of filing in April, or is it some other amount? Because Miss Adams is not saying she wasn't behind. She's saying that don't sound like it's the right amount of money. Is that right, Miss Adams?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I think that's justifiable. Anybody can contest the amount of damages, even in a default.
Yes and no, not on liquidated damages, but in any event, I'm happy to talk to her to determine what those amounts are.
All right, y'all go talk.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Miss Adams, I've got to move you again to room 3. If you look at your device, you're going to see a host has moved you to room 3, and you should be able to say join.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Hodges, I will have Mr. Williams do the motions for the people who did not come to court.
A few moments later.
Mr. Williams and Miss Adams, can you hear me, Miss Adams?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me find this morning's calendar. Mr. Williams, do you have an announcement after meeting with Miss Adams?
Yes, Judge, we do have a consent order.
Okay.
We are providing for a writ on June 25th, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. Total judgment due through that date is $33,326.33 plus costs, and that represents rent from June 1st, 2021 to June 25th, 2023.
June
1st.
June 1st, 2021 to June 25th, 2023.
That's correct. There was a pending TLAC agreement, and you're welcome to look at it, but there never was an agreement signed. There was the application. And so our client never received any rent. I can give you the R number if you'd like.
I think I have it here. Let me look it up. Okay. Miss Adams, did you agree that you're going to move on before June 25th of this year. And if you have not moved by midnight, then on the 26th, the landlord could ask the court for the writ of possession.
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you agree all money owed from June 1st, 2021 through June 25th, 2023 is $33,326.33?
I guess. I don't know.
That's not an agreement, and I'm happy to have it.
Yes, I'm so confused, but I just want to. It's I don't get it. I'm not getting it. I don't understand how I went through the program and everything was clear and valid, and then you said I owe $33,000. Like you didn't inform me that I owed you $1,342 when I owed you when I was 1 month behind. But you informed me that I owe $33,000. That's not even making sense.
Miss Rosas, this TLAC was closed because of information not provided.
Yes, Your Honor. So I will just ask Mr. Williams what other R number he had for the consent. Because
There was no consent.
oh, there was no, okay, yeah. So
You're,
the
you're looking at the same one I am, the 21R02693.
She applied back in August of 2021.
Correct.
She was asked in 2021 for documents.
Yes.
Okay. She was asked again in April of 2022 for documents. She was asked again in July of 2022 for documents. And then when she was asked again in December of 2022 for documents. And I remember being clerk of court December 22nd, 2022. And I said, if they hadn't responded, close the damn thing.
And it got closed in December of 2022. No, our client never received any money.
Right. So
And what happened was there was a previous case that got taken off the calendar that got administratively closed, which is why they refiled it.
Right. So Miss Adams, that's what happened. You filed for TLAC, but you got to file. And you never finished in the application process. So you were never.
That's where the confusion is, because all I had, the problem was with the TLAC application was that they couldn't see my signature and the landlord's signature on the lease. So they told me to fill out, I forgot the piece of paper, but it was a piece of paper that I was supposed to have been filling out and submitted, and I submitted it. And all it asked for is like your name, your address.
So Miss Adams, I'm trying to tell you what happened.
I understand, but I understand what you're saying, but my thing is, why is it prolonged to where I'm owing $33,000?
Well, every day you sit there, you owe money. If you don't pay, it adds up.
That's not the point. I could have been paid. I thought that it was paid. That's why I called the rent office to see, because I knew that June was coming. I was trying to see, okay, when I'm able to start paying my rent, because I know TLAC supposed to pay it. No one never notified me. Then when I got in contact with someone, they talked to someone at the clerk office or whatnot, and at the office, the two lawyers. Like when I went to court, they told me that everything was good and that the lawyers was handling everything. Like,
what is your case number? What's that other case number?
Give me 1 second. Look at my email.
There's two other case numbers: 21D 04395 and 21D 10981.
And Judge, that's the time when they were removing cases due to TLAC applications. And if you notice, that's what occurred on those. She knew what was owed.
Oh, you want the case number? Because I got an email from December the 22nd. The case number is 21R02693.
So you got that email in December? It says we need X, Y, and Z.
It said that I needed to update the ledger.
And
that's what I filled out, that piece of paper that you guys have. If I guess, like I said, my problem was that they couldn't see the landlord and my signature every time I submitted the lease. So they told me I can't think of the name of the letter, but it was a piece of paper that you just fill out with your name and like your address, and then you just submit it.
All right. This court is going to enter judgment against Miss Adams in the amount of $33,326.33 plus the court's cost. And the landlord may ask for a writ after June the 25th at midnight. That'll be the order of the court.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
All right, you may be excused. That concludes the morning calendar.